Hi everyone, and thank you for watching me today. If you're new, my name is Byron. I am a vegan. I'm losing around about 5 stone, which I'm currently doing following the Slimming World plan. If you are new, please like, subscribe, comment, all of those things. It really motivates me so much. And if you'd like to introduce yourself in the comments below, I would love that. I respond to all the comments as soon as I'm able to. So please, let me know if you're following Slimming World or a different weight loss plan, or if you are vegan or just curious. Really enjoy interacting and making friends through my channel. If you are not new, then welcome back. You'll know that I normally have a big tumbler of water next to me when I film these videos. Today, new video day, new changes, vodka and Pepsi Max. How decadent I am today. I am sinning it, don't worry, counting those sins. And I'll mute out the slurping and gurgling every time I take a drink. Very nice. So, today I'm talking about my weighing results on my 11th week on the Slimming World plan. I've got a few notes here on my phone that I will be going through. I want to talk first of all about the current changes to the Slimming World group experience. And I say this through nothing more than second and third and fourth and fifth hand information. Because whilst YouTube and social media has been a buzz with information and reactions and feedback to the changes, they actually have not been mentioned once in my group. So I don't know if they are going to be sprung on us or if my consultant, who's amazing, she's not watching, so I don't know why I'm waving at her, but one day she might. Hi. Yeah, my amazing consultant hasn't mentioned it yet. It may happen in the next week or two, and as soon as it does, I will let you know. But I have noticed, I was initially going to say there's been, some positive feedback, some negative feedback, and I haven't actually. There may well be, but I haven't seen any positive feedback for the new format for the image therapy part of group. Now, for anyone not following Slimming World, image therapy might sound a little bit cultish, but it stands for individual motivation and group experience. And what happens at a Slimming World session, or certainly at mine, is there'll be a weigh-in window where people go and get weighed in and catch up with each other and maybe have a chat with the consultant or buy any of the merch that's available. And then after that, there is a sort of class, seminar, session, group conversation. And people on the Slimming World plan refer to that as staying to group or staying for group, which I always try to do. And that's the point in Slimming World where we have our image therapy, individual motivation and group experience. Because like any, privatized company, why not trademark an acronym and make it your own? That's not a dig, I completely fully agree with that and accept that, and that's what I've signed up for. And normally, I say normally, continuously in the time that I've been at group, my consultant will go through a few of the housekeeping bits. I'm sure she gets an email saying, make sure you mention this week and that and the other thing, and don't forget to promote the new hi-fi bars or the new wraps, and that will be the same, no doubt, in every single group up and down the country. What we then do is go through every individual motivation, and if they have had a positive result, their amount of loss will be mentioned by my consultant. So she might say, let me think of Craddock. My cat's called Craddock. There's definitely not anyone called Craddock at my group. My consultant might say, Craddock, wow, £5 off this week. You must be thrilled. Do you want to talk about it? What have you done differently this week? Let us know. And then that gives Craddock an opportunity to say, well, actually, I've made a couple of changes this week. I've stopped drinking. Well, Craddock doesn't drink. That's me, clearly. Craddock might say, well, normally I have the Sheba Deluxe Fresh and Fine. This week, I've been, swapping that out, and I've just been having Whisker's dry food, and it's made a huge difference. And that's great because it means that that person gets to celebrate their win that week, and other people in the group might think, yeah, do you know what? That's something that I'm going to try this week. And my understanding is that that might be partially changing. From what I've heard, again, this is all second and third hand. But whilst going round the group, I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason to it. I don't know if it's in order of people weighing in. It's not in order of, there's no like numerological order to it in terms of what people have lost or gained. And then we might get to Craddock again and say, if Craddock's had a loss, Craddock, how are you feeling? Every time I say it, she's going to jump up in a minute. Yeah. But they might say, Craddock, how do you feel about your week? And that then gives Craddock the opportunity to discuss what could actually be quite a difficult or traumatic week, or to not talk about that. Because if it has been a difficult week, Craddock might not want to relive that, and certainly might not want to relive that in a, public forum. But should Craddock wish to do so, we can then, as a group, offer support, offer advice, offer encouragement, that may or may not have already been there. The other thing that I really enjoy about people talking about their struggles and about their gains, if they have them, is I can relate to them. I'm a very blunt, neurodiverse person. It takes me a lot of time to process things around me sometimes. Well, I say sometimes, all the time. I need additional processing time. And when I do process other people's experiences, the first thing that my brain will do is try to relate it to me in some way. So I find it really useful and really beneficial hearing about people's gains and struggles, as well as their losses and their successes, because I think, well, how am I going to take that forward with me? How am I going to be reflective as a Slimming World member and utilise all of this resource around me, which is everyone else's experience? If that becomes something which isn't then continued in group, and I do understand that not everyone is going to want to have a spotlight shone on them when they've not had a great week, and I do understand that Slimming World is a business first and a lifestyle that supports people second. If they're finding through focus groups that highlighting people and drawing attention, however subtly, to the fact that they've not had a gain is losing them business, then I understand that there are obviously going to be tweaks that they might be making for that reason. I am also really conscious of the fact that for all of us, regardless of how you're losing weight loss is such a personal thing to each of us. And whilst we're on this journey, it becomes a huge part of our identity and personality. So whenever there's any change or the threat of change that could possibly upset that stability and could possibly rock that boat, upset the apple cart, we are going to meet it sometimes with resistance and with fear and with disdain, and we're going to focus on looking at the negative aspects of it, and that's human nature. We all do that. It's part of our survival instinct, really, isn't it? You know, if something's working for us, we're obviously going to be threatened when that thing that is working for us and that we're comfortable in is potentially attacked or changed or taken away from us. So I'm going to go into it with a really open mind. If my consultant does follow these new plans and guidelines, and I've, you know, no doubt that if it's some corporate memorandum, it is going to happen. Whilst it will be difficult for me to adapt, and again, through my neurodiversions, sometimes change, especially unexpected change, can really throw me. But I'm going to be open to it. I'm going to try to embrace it, and I'm still going to try to utilize this resource that I've got, this amazing tool, which has seen me over the last 11 weeks lose 10 times in a row and gain this week. And that's what happened. I gained half a pound. I've made notes of reasons why this might have happened. They're not excuses, they are just reasons. But I can honestly say that I haven't once gone over my sins. I haven't once cheated. I've not been sneaky and thought, one for me, one for the pot. But these things happen. And, I'm not being melodramatic about it today. I'm just taking it as a step on my path. This is literally one stride in a 26.6 mile marathon that I'm taking slowly. And I'm not going to fall over. I'm not going to trip up over it. I'm just going to continue doing what I know works and wait until I get to the end. All I can do. That's the thing. I don't know. I was looking at my app today to see how much weight I've lost in total. And I've forgotten already because that's how my brain works. But here we go. So my total loss to date is, I don't know if that will focus because of my ring light there. Is it going to focus? Maybe, just about. 2 stone, 2.5 pounds on my 11th weigh-in, and I am thrilled with that. So that's 28, 30.5 pounds in 11 weeks. It's a lot. So I'm showing up for myself again. I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to do what I've been doing. I'm going to keep counting all of my sins, all of my healthy extras, which I've been measuring this week rather than eyeballing them. And maybe when I was eyeballing them, I was erring on the side of caution. Maybe that's where I'm going wrong, actually. I'm probably having more now that I weigh out 40 grams. I'm half joking. But yeah, everything's going in my buck, along with my mood, along with my exercise, which I've been doing 5 days out of the last 7, which for me is the biggest non-scale victory that I could have had in a really long time. I'm over the moon about that, and I'm going to talk about exercise on a future video, so I won't bore you with it now. The last thing I do want to talk about is support. And the different, platforms or the different modalities of support that have come to me over this week. Now, group obviously is, and I've just spoken about that, an incredible support for me. This, if you're new watching my videos, is the first time ever that I've stuck to a weight loss plan for 11 weeks in a row. Like, just that consistency is mind-blowing for me. It's the first time though that I've gone to a face-to-face weight loss group, and that's clearly working for me. Like, I wish I'd done it years ago, I really do, but there's no point in dwelling on that. But being at group and having that face-to-face accountability is just incredible. The support that I get from that, from the other members in that group, after just 11 weeks, every person there cheers and whoops and claps for every single win that people have. And when I say win, I don't just mean a weight loss. If someone's had a really hard week and they've maintained, if somebody has been away from group for a while but put weight on. There's one lady at group, no one at my group knows I've got a YouTube channel, so they're not watching, but I'm not going to name them anyway. But there's one lady who I only met for the first time last week. She's been a regular group member, but has a lot of chronic health conditions that mean that there are times where she has to not be following the plan and not able to attend in group. And she came back to group with a 4-pound gain and got the biggest round of applause that you can imagine. Again, she had a 4-pound gain and she got the biggest round of applause that you can imagine. And I was so moved by that because people know, I didn't know she was able to talk about it, and I didn't know what, her struggles had been. Sorry, 1 minute. Oh. Historically, when she's left group, she's come back with a gain of 10 pounds or 11 pounds or a stone. She said that one time she'd been away for 7 weeks and she came back and in 7 weeks she'd put on 2 stone and 1 pound. And the fact that she was making such an effort without being able to physically be there and have that support from people, as well as all the additional difficulties that having a chronic condition can bring, pain, anxiety, mobility issues, to still be able to solo have managed it so well in that time and then come back and then see how proud every single person there was of her was just, I was so pleased. And that's what I love about group, and that support. I've had support from all of you. This is like my time of the year. I did jokingly say it was my star week at group this week when when they asked why I thought I'd put on. I have just been so hormonal and emotional, which is normal, I guess, for everyone at certain times, in their life. We all have I don't know what the word is. We have times where we can be quite sensitive or reactionary to things, positive and negative, don't we? And other times when we don't bat an eyelid. But yeah, that really moved me. And knowing that I had similar support there was just a huge boost for me. The support that I have from all of you watching, whether it's a like, whether it's a view, whether it's a subscribe, and if you're not subscribed, please do. And if you haven't commented before, please do. Because I love hearing all your comments. I love reading about them, reading about you, what your journey is, and I like to give back that support where I can. And all the people who've gone above and beyond those things that you can do whilst watching a video, but have taken the time to message me on my email or have sent me a gift of support from my Amazon. You've just been amazing. And Jane, again, you know, Jane, if you are listening to me right now, I was going to say watching. I know you wouldn't be offended by that. I don't know why I paused. But yeah, Jane, if you're watching now, you know, your email this week, like I said, did bring me to tears. And just knowing that I've got support from a community of people who are compassionate and thoughtful and genuine and experienced and generous with all of those things, generous with the wisdom and the knowledge and their own experience, and actually rooting for me is just what keeps me going. So this week coming, for all of you, as well as for the future me, I'm going to make the right choices. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to show up so that the future me can look back and think, yeah, you did the right thing that week. Well done. And look at us now. And I can't wait to be that future me. Listen, have a great week. Thank you again. Craddock is just here with me now. I don't know if she's appeared in this video or not. She keeps walking across my lap. But yeah, huge love, huge gratitude to all of you. And I hope you join me on my next video. All right, all the best. Bye bye.